In this video, I'm going to be teaching you how you should be lighting your product photos so you get the best results every time. This is the most important part in all of product photography, and if you master this, the rest of the stuff will be easy. Hey there, if you're new here, my name's Chris. I'm teaching you photography and how to start a creative business. I want to say a special hi to all my new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. This is part of my product photography video series. In this video, we're talking about lighting in product photography. There's a lot of different types of product photography out there. We have simple white background product shots. We've got creative stylized shots. We have action product photography. We have lifestyle scenes, and many, many more. All of these are awesome in their own way, but in order to get into them, we need to understand one key principle: lighting. Lighting is what will make or break your product photos. Just take a look at these two product photos. I've got this scene set up back there and I lit them in two different ways. One with just the lights in my studio ceiling, and one with a single light source placed at a 45-degree angle. Can you tell which is which? If you got that right, you're on your way to being able to light properly. This video will be the foundation of your product photography journey. The best part is I'm teaching everything here with just a single light source. Believe it or not, almost all of my product photos on my company's website are done with a single light source. This video is here to teach you how you can do the same. Now that you know how important lighting is, let's dive into the types of lights. When it comes to product photography, you'll have three different light choices. You've got natural light. This is what you get coming in through your windows. It's bright, it's free, but you can't control it. You can definitely start with natural light, but after you've been doing product photography for a little bit, you'll want an upgrade. Next, we've got continuous light. These are your LED panels, your ring lights, your spotlights. These are mainly used for video, but a lot of photographers use them as well. These can get pretty bright and give you a lot of control over the light itself. These tend to be a little pricey, and if you're shooting for a long time, they're going to produce a lot of heat as well. Finally, we've got flash and strobe lighting. These lights are the brightest out of all the options, and they're great when you really need that extra output. Flash is what the pros use. Flashes allow you to shoot at high f-stops so that your entire product stays in focus. These don't produce a lot of heat, and they're usually less expensive than continuous lights. They're a bit hard to learn because you don't see the result of the light until you've taken the photo. Of the three of these, there's no right light source to pick when you're just trying to learn product photography. If you have no lights, you can definitely start with natural light next to a big window. If you already do video and have some video lights, then use that. But unless you're planning on spending $500 on continuous lighting, I would stick to flash instead of video lights at the start. Let's learn how to use our artificial lights real quick. First, continuous. This type of light is super simple to use. Turn it on, adjust the dial, and get the desired brightness, and that's it. Flash, on the other hand, is a little trickier. You'll need your flash head, and then you'll need a remote trigger in order to activate it. The remote trigger syncs with your camera shutter and activates the light right when your shutter is open. The flash has two main settings: TTL mode, which is the same as auto mode, or manual mode. TTL is a great place to start, but when you want more control of the flash itself, you can switch it to manual mode and adjust the power by yourself. If you're getting any value out of this video so far, please drop a like below. I love teaching this stuff, and your support really helps me make more of these. If you want to stay notified for any future videos that I'm making, please consider subscribing to the channel. Next, let's talk about diffusion. When you're using a direct light source, you're going to get some harshness to it. Now, harsh lighting is a style in itself, but most product shots are done with diffused lighting. If you're using natural light in a window, the most basic form of diffusion is a very thin curtain or a white bed sheet. A lot of people use this just starting out, and it gets the job done just fine. If you're using artificial lighting, you've got a few options here. A shoot-through umbrella like this is a great first diffusion option. They're cheap, they're portable, and they produce nice soft light. Softboxes are another great way to diffuse light, but they tend to be a little pricier. There are a lot of different options for diffusion out there. When you're starting out, don't get lost in the nuance of it. Just get something simple like an umbrella. With artificial lighting, you'll also need to get a stand to mount the light on. Most basic light stands will do, just make sure it can hold the weight of the light. I personally use a C-stand for my lights. They're super sturdy, really customizable, but they tend to be on the pricier side. I'll link below to some of the stands and kits that I think would be great for beginner setups. I've got this setup from the beginning of the video here that I'll use to show you how light position will affect final results of the photo. If you're using natural lighting, your options are a little limited here. If you can, try and keep the window to the side of what you're lighting to give it some more depth. For the most part, when you're using natural light, you never want to have the window from the back of the frame. I'm going to go into artificial lighting, but for natural lighting, you can apply all these same principles. For artificial lighting, my go-to lighting setup for most of my shots is a simple 45 degrees off center and above the subject. By positioning the lighting off center like this, we're able to light the product slightly unevenly, leaving a shadow behind the back side. This helps create depth in the product and makes it look more realistic. If we had the light right in front of the subject, we wouldn't get these shadows and there would be no depth to the image. Honestly, you can create a lot of awesome photos using just this singular light setup. It's great for white background shots, creative setups, action photography, really any product photos. If we want to add more fill into the shot, we can use a reflector and place it on the opposite side of the product. A reflector will reflect some of that light from the artificial light source and place it right back onto our subject and scene. Since the reflected light isn't as strong as the light source itself, we're still left with some shadows in the scene. This next light position we're trying is going to be great for all those more moody shots with intense shadows. These photos are going to show the products in a different light. Sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. By having the option to experiment with this, it'll give you more creative control and make your vision come to life. So in this example shot, I'll move the light all the way down to the left of the scene. Let's take a sample photo and see how it looks. Right away, you're going to notice a huge difference between the previous shot. The shadows are more intense here. Half the label is in the dark, and the feeling of this photo is way different. Now, these are just 2 great ways to light your product shots. You can and you should experiment with different positions of your light. Bring it up, bring it down, move it from side to side. Only by experimenting will you know where to place the light in your scene to give you the best results. I have a lot of photo shoots where I don't like how the product looks in a certain lighting setup, and what I do is I start moving the light around the scene and experimenting with how it looks in those different positions. Experimenting is how I learned product photography. Go and try and take some awesome product photos, learn from your mistakes, come back to this video, watch some more, and repeat. And that's the basics of lighting and product photography. We went over the types of lighting you can use, we went over how to use natural, continuous, and flash lighting in your photos, and how each light differs. Diffusion is an important aspect in lighting so that your light isn't super harsh. We talked about how to position your light at a 45-degree angle to ensure there are nice shadows in the frame. And finally, I showed you side lighting for more exaggerated shadows and a different feel to the photo. In the next product photography video, we'll be applying all these concepts, so you don't want to miss on that. Subscribe to stay notified for when that comes out. I appreciate you watching. I think it's awesome you want to learn more about product photography. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out and helps my channel grow and make more of these. All right, I'll see you in the next one.